So I hate to admit this, but I actually decided to rent the movie Battleship, and let me just say, it's the worst movie I've ever seen. That's why I put the title at the beginning of this movie review, the worst movie ever made, because it is seriously the worst movie ever made. If you've ever seen Troll 2 or Silent House, those movies are way better by far than this stupid piece of crud, and oh, I mean it. There are a lot of aspects to talk about this movie. There's a lot of stuff you could talk about in it. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the acting. First of all, who puts Rihanna in a movie? Seriously, she's a famous singer. She's not an actress. And that was really bad on the director's part because she did not even do a good job. She was portrayed as a tough guy in it and all tough and saying, come on, get up. You only got a little scratch. She was just acting like a man, and it was just dumb, and her acting is terrible. And she seriously just needs to stay to singing because that's all she's ever going to be good at is singing. And I know that might sound kind of mean, but it's the truth because not every singer is a good actor. Not every good actor is a great singer. I mean, come on. The Taylor Kitsch guy, if that's how you even pronounce it, he went from John Carter to this. I heard John Carter was terrible, so really 2 bad movies in a row acting in, that just does not look good on your history. I don't know how he gets in any of the movies. He's only been in pretty dumb ones and badly rated ones so far. Liam Neeson was in it, which really surprised me, and seriously, he was the best actor out of all of them, and he only had a little bit, he didn't even have that big of a part in the movie, and he was in it maybe a couple minutes, bit by bit, and yeah, he wasn't even in the movie that much, and he did the best job. He was the best actor out of everybody in that movie. So, yeah, that shows how low budget it is. The next thing we'll be talking about is the graphics. I mean, a couple scenes were good, and the graphics were good on some of the scenes, but the space scene at like the beginning with the laser shooting, it looked animated and fake, and the ships looked animated and fake, and when they all fired their missiles and loaded their missiles up in the little pod things, it just looked animated in computer, and it was just not good. I've seen way better sci-fi movies with better graphics in it. I mean, come on. I'm pretty sure if they made a Halo movie, it'd be a whole lot better than this movie. I mean, yeah. Oh, the cheesy parts are the worst. If I got paid for every cheesy part that was in that movie, I would seriously be a millionaire because there were so many cheesy parts. There's like really 3 bad ones. The first one is there's like this little league game going on, and there's like these little pod things that like spin and they have razors, and it like stops like an inch from the kid's face, and he's like not even moving or anything. He's not running or freaking out. So he's just standing there, and he looks and he's like, Dad. It's like, yeah, your dad's really going to help you, and that was stupid and cheesy, and those pod razor things look animated and computer generated and terrible, by the way. Another part is the guy's girlfriend, the main commander guy's girlfriend, is like behind a truck, and there's like one of the little aliens like right behind her, like behind the truck on the other side, and she's like doing this and pretending to fake cry, like a silent fake cry, and it's just terrible. It's stupid. And it's the girl from Just Go With It who was hilarious in that, but she just did a terrible job in this movie. Another one was this retired naval guy was fighting one of the aliens, and he punched the alien, and it did like slow motion, and you see a couple teeth fly out, and it was animated and cheesy, and that was dumb. And speaking of the aliens were terrible. They looked more human than they looked alien. I mean, they had 3 fingers and all that crap. They had like goatees, and they totally looked like more human than they did aliens, which is another terrible thing. So, yeah, so we basically covered everything. The acting, the cheesy parts, the graphics were terrible. Everything was just terrible. I seriously... Oh, and they shouldn't even call the movie Battleship. They should call it Snoreship, because half the movie is seriously talking. Like, we rented it, and I skipped through most of the movie because it was all talking. And it started out slow. And I forgot to mention this, but one of the other cheesy parts is the blonde girl that's hiding behind the truck earlier in the movie, and the main commander guy, they're at a bar. Well, he meets her at a bar. It doesn't matter. Anyway, he's like, oh, the bar closed or whatever, and there was like no food. And he's like, oh, go get you a burrito. So he's like drunk, and he can't even walk. So he like sneaks into the place and tries to get her a burrito, and he ends up getting tased and arrested. And it was just dumb. He's like, I got you your burrito, and it was just terrible. So don't even watch this movie. It's not worth your time. I hate that I got talked into watching this and even watched it. It was a total waste of 2 hours. And the only reason it was 2 hours is because they dragged the movie on. Like, when you thought it was going to end, oh, wait, there's another flippin' alien ship you got to destroy. Seriously, they dragged the movie out, and that's just... It wasn't even action-y. And they played, like, rock music. Like, not even rocky parts. There's, like... It's like the gym or whatever, and there's, like... She's just walking around looking at everybody, and they're all working out, and they're playing action music like it's something that crazy is going to happen, and nothing happens. It's just a terrible use of actors and music and graphics and everything, and it's a complete waste of time. Well, to get away from the negative, I have something positive to tell. I don't know if you know this, but I've been stoked about it. The show Revolution, the new series Revolution, premiered last night, and that's an amazing show, and you should definitely check that out, because that's a whole stinking lot better than Battleship. Don't even waste your time with Battleship. Don't watch it. Don't even watch the trailer, because the trailers are just as bad as the movie. Like, the trailer was good at first, but the movie is just terrible. I'm pretty sure I've never hated a movie or criticized a movie this bad before, but seriously, it was just that bad. And I should have obviously listened to all the critics and everybody, so kudos to them, critics and the people who said it was terrible, and the Rotten Tomatoes website that said it was terrible. I should have just listened and not even watched it. So yeah, anyway, don't watch Battleship, watch Revolution. If you don't really know about that, what it's about, this guy comes home and he's all frantic, and supposedly the electricity's going to go off forever. So the electricity does shut off, and it's like 15 years later, and like it's pioneer times. Everybody has to revert back to pioneer times, and there's like these big group of bad people that like rule over everything because they're all high and mighty and have all the weapons and evolved and stuff. So an ex-friend is one of the army guys that lives in the little pioneer village. Well, he wants him and his brother to come. Well, he refuses, and then the guy's son ends up getting kidnapped, and the dad ends up getting killed. And before he dies, he tells his daughter she has to go find the brother in Chicago, because he's like really good at like disappearing and stuff and eluding the authorities, if you want to call them. But it's really good, and it's full of action, and it's really good, and it's kind of scary though, because if that stuff really happened, it would be pretty sketchy. So thanks for watching my review. In conclusion, seriously, don't watch Battleship. It's terrible, but watch Revolution. It's amazing. Thanks for watching. Bye.